The one and only Ivan. Hello, I'm Ivan. I'm a gorilla. It's not as easy as it looks. People call me the favorite gorilla, the ape at Axis 8, the one and only Ivan, mighty silverback. The names are mine, but they're not me. I'm Ivan, just Ivan, only Ivan. Humans waste words. They toss them like banana peels and leave them to rot. Everyone knows the peels are at the best part. I suppose you think gorillas can't understand you. Of course, you also probably think we can't walk upright. Try knuckle walking an hour. You tell me, which way is more fun? I learned to understand human words over the years. But understanding human speech is not the same as understanding humans. Humans speak too much. They chatter like chimps, crawling the world with their noise even when they have nothing to say. It took me some time to recognize all those human sounds to weave words into things. But I was patient. Patient is a useful way to be when you are an ape. Gorillas are as patient as stones. Humans not so much. I used to be a wild gorilla, and I still look the part. I have gorilla shy gaze, a gorilla shy smile. I wear a snowy saddle of fur, the uniform of a silverback. When the sun warms my back, I cast a gorilla's majestic shadow. In my size, humans see a test of themselves. They hear fighting words on the wind. When all I'm thinking is how the late day sun reminds me of a ripe nectarine. I'm a mightier day than any humans for 400 pounds of pure power. My body looks made for battle. My arms outstretched span taller than the tallest human. My family tree spreads wide as well. I am a great ape, and you are a great ape. And so are chimpanzees and orangutans and bombos. All of us distant and disrespectful cousins. I know this is troubling. I too find it hard to believe there is a connection across time and space linking to a race of ill-mannered clowns. Chimps, there's no excuse for them. The Exit 8 Big Tom Mall and Video Arcade. I live in a human habit called the Exit 8 Big Tom Mall and Video Arcade. We're conveniently located off 195 with shadows at 2, 4, and 7, 365 days a year. Max says that when he answers the AAA telephone, Mac works here at the mall. He's the boss. I work here too. I'm the gorilla. At the big top mall, a creaky music carousel spins all day, and monkeys and parrots live any of the merchants. In the middle of the mall is a ring with benches where humans can sit on their runs while they eat soft pretzels. The floor is covered with sawdust made of dead trees. I'm down at one end of the ring. I live here because I'm too much gorilla and not enough human. Stella's domain is next to mine. Stella is an elephant. She and Baldwin, who is a dog, are my dearest friends. At present, I do not have any gorilla friends. My domain is made of thick glass and rusty metals and rough cement. Stella's domain is made of metal bars. The sunbear's domain is wood. The parrot's is wire mesh. 3 of my walls are glass. One of them is cracked. And a small piece about the size of my hand is missing from its bottom corner. I made a hole with a baseball bat Matt gave me for my 6th birthday. After that, he took the bat away, but he let me keep the baseball that came with it. A jungle scene is painted on one of my domain walls. It is a waterfall without water and flowers without scent and trees without roots. I didn't paint it, but I enjoy the way the shapes flow across my wall, even if it isn't much of a jungle. I am lucky my domain has 3 window walls. I can see the whole. I can see the whole mall and a bit of the world beyond. The frantic pinball machines, the pink billows of cotton candy, the vast and treeless parking lots. Beyond the lotus of freeway where cars stampede without end. A giant sign at its edge beckons them to stop and rest like gazelles at a watering hole. This sign is faded. The color's bleeding, but I know what it says. Meg read its words aloud one day. Come to the Exit 8 Big Top Mall and Video Arcade, home of the one and only but mighty Silverback. Sadly, I cannot read, although I wish I could. Reading stories would make a fine way to fill my empty hours. Once, however, I was able to enjoy a book left in my domain by one of my keepers. It tasted like turnip. The freeway billboard has a drawing of Mac in his clown clothes and Stella on her hind legs and an angry animal with fierce eyes and unkempt hair. That animal was supposed to be me, but the artist made a mistake. I am never angry. Anger is precious. A silverback uses anger to maintain order and warn a troop of danger. When my father beat his chest, it was to say, beware, listen, I am in charge. I am angry to protect you because that is what I was born to do. Here in my domain, there's no one to protect. The littlest big top on earth. My neighbors here at the Big Top Mall know many tricks. They're an educated lot more accomplished than I am. One of my neighbors plays basketball, although she is a chicken. Another drives a fire truck, although he's a rabbit. I used to have a neighbor, a sleek and thoughtful seal, who could balance a ball on her nose from dawn till dusk. Her voice was like the thirsty bark of a dog chained outside on a cold night. Children wish on pennies and tossed them into her plastic pool. They glowed on the bottom like flat copper stones. The seal was hungry one day, or bored. Perhaps she ate 100 pennies. Next time she'd be fine. He was mistaken. McCall's showed a little big top on her. Every day at 2, 4, and 7, human fans themselves, drinks sodas, applaud. Babies wear masks dressed like a clown, pedal a tiny bike. A dog Mary Snickers rides on Stella's back. Stella sits on a stool. It is the favorite sturdy stool. I don't do any tricks. Max says it's enough for me to be me. Stella told me that some circuses move from town to town. They have humans who dangle on ropes turning from the tops of tents. They have grumbling lions with gleaming teeth and a snaking line of elephants, each clutching the limp tail in front of her. The elephants look far off into the distance so they won't see the humans who want to see them. Our circus doesn't migrate. We sit where we are like an old beast too tired to push on. After a show, humans forage through the stores. A store is where humans buy things they need to survive. At the big time mall, some stores sell new things. Things like balloons and t-shirts and caps to cover the gleaming heads of humans. Some stores sell old things that smell dusty and damp and long forgotten. All day, I watch humans scurry from store to store. They pass their green paper, dry as old leaves, and smell of 1,000 hands, back and forth and back again. They hunt frantically, stalking, pushing, grumbling. Then they leave, clutching bags filled with things, bright things, soft things, big things, but no matter how full the bags, they always come back for more. Humans are clever indeed. They spin pink clouds you can eat. They build a maze with flat waterfalls. But they are lousy hunters. Gone. Some animals live privately on watch, but that is not my life. My life is flashing lights and pointing fingers and uninvited visitors. Inches away, humans flatten their little hands against the wall of glass that separates us. The glass says, you are this and we are that, and that is how it will be. It will always be. Humans leave their fingerprints behind, sticky with candy, slick with sweat. Each night a weary man comes to wipe away. Sometimes I press my nose against the glass. My nose print, like your fingerprint, is the first and last and only one. The man wipes the glass and then I am gone. Here's my domain. I do not have much to do. You can only throw so many balls at humans before you get bored. A meatball is maple rolling up them until it's the size of a small apple, then letting it dry. I always keep a few on hand. For some reason, my visitors never seem to carry any. In my domain, I have a tire swing, a baseball, a tiny plastic pool filled with dirty water, and even an old TV. I have a stuffed toy gorilla too. Julia, the daughter of the weary man who cleans the mall each night, gave it to me. The gorilla has empty eyes and floppy lips, but actually was it every night. I call it not Tack. Tack is my twin sister's name. Julia is 10 years old. She has hair like black glass and a wide, half-moon smile. She and I have a lot in common. We're both grade 8s and we are both artists. It was Julia who gave me my first crayon, a stubby blue one, slipped through the broken spot in my glass along with a folded piece of paper. I knew what to do. I watched Julia draw. When I dragged the crayons across the paper, it left a trail in its wake like a slithering blue snake. Julia's drawings are wild with color and movement. She draws things that aren't real, clouds that smile and cars that swim. She draws until her crayon breaks and her paper rips. Her pictures are like pieces of a dream. I can't draw dreamy pictures. I never remember my dreams, although I sometimes awaken with my fist clenched and my heart hammering. My drawings seem pale and timid next to Julia's. She draws the ideas in her head. I drew the things in my case, simple items that fill my days, an apple core, a banana peel, a candy wrapper. I often eat my subject before I draw. But even though I draw the same things over and over again, I never got bored with my art. When I'm drawing, that's all I think about. I don't think about where I am, about yesterday or tomorrow. I just move my crayons across the paper. Humans don't always seem to recognize what I've drawn. They squint, cock their heads, murmur, I'll draw a banana, a perfectly lovely banana, and they'll say, it's a yellow airplane, or it's a duck without wings. That's all right. I'm not drawing for them. I'm drawing for me. Maxim realized that people would pay for a picture made by a gorilla, even if they don't know what it is. Now I draw every day. My work sells to $20 a piece at the gift shop near my domain. If I get tired and need a break, I have my crayons, shapes, and clouds. I think I have always been an artist. Even as a baby still clinging to my mother, I had an artist's eye. I saw shapes in the clouds and sculptures and tumbled stones at the bottom of a stream. I grabbed at colors, the crimson and flowers just out of reach, the ebony birds streaking past. I don't remember much about my early life, but I do remember this. Whenever I got the chance, I would dip my fingers into cool mud and use my mother's back for a canvas. She was a patient soul, my mother. Imagination. Someday I hope I can draw the way Julia draws, imagining worlds that don't yet exist. I know what most humans think. They think gorillas don't have imagination. They think we don't remember our past or ponder our futures. Come to think of it, I suppose they have a point. Mostly I think about what is, not what could be. I've learned not to get my hopes the loneliest gorilla in the world. When the Big Top Mall was first built, I smelled of new paint and fresh hay. And humans came to visit from morning till night. They drifted past my domain like dogs in a lazy river. Lately, a day might go by without a single visitor. Max says he was worried. He says I'm not cute anymore. He says, Ivan, you've lost your magical guy. You used to be a hit. It's true that some of my visitors don't linger the way they used to. They stare through the glass, they cluck their tongues, then frown while I watch my TV. He looks lonely, they say. Not long ago, a little boy stood before my glass, tears streaming down his most red cheeks. "He must be the loneliest gorilla in the world," he said, clutching his mother's hand. At times was that I wish Link could understand me the way I can understand them. It's not so bad, I wanted to tell the little boy. With enough time, you can get used to almost everything. TV. My visitors are often surprised when they see the TV map put in my domain. They seem to find it odd the sight of gorillas staring at tiny human in a box. Sometimes I wonder isn't the way they stare at me sitting in my tiny box just strange? My TV is old. It doesn't always work, and sometimes they will go by before anyone remembers to turn it off. I watch anything, but I'm particularly fond of cartoons with their bright jumble colors. Especially enjoy it when someone slips on a banana peel. Bob, my dog friend, loves TV mode almost as much as I do. He prefers to watch professional bowling and cat food commercials. Bob and I have seen many romantic movies too. In romance, there is much hugging and sometimes face licks. I haven't yet to see a single romance starring a gorilla. We also enjoy old Western movies, and in Western, someone always sings. "This town ain't big enough for the both of us, Sheriff." In a Western, you can tell who the guys are and who the bad guys are, and the good guys always win. Most of Westerns are not like real life, the nature show. I've been in my domain for 9,855 days alone. For a while, when I was young and foolish, I thought I was the last gorilla on Earth. I try not to drew on it, still it's hard to stay upbeat when you think there are no more of you. Then one night, after I watched a movie about men in black hats with guns and feeble-minded horses, a different show came on. It was not a cartoon, not a romance, not a western. I saw a lush forest. I heard birds murmuring, the grass moved, the trees rustled. Then I saw him. He was a big thoroughbred and scrawny and not as good at looking as I am, to be honest, but sure enough, he was a gorilla. As suddenly as it appeared, the gorilla vanished, and in his place was a scruffy white animal called a polar bear, and then a chubby water creature called a manatee, and then another animal and another. All night I sat wondering about gorillas I glimpsed. Where did he live? Would he ever come to visit? If there was a he somewhere, could there be a she as well? Or was it just the two of us and all the world trapped in our own separate boxes? Stella said she is sure I will see another real-life gorilla someday. And I believe her because she is even older than I am and has eyes like black stars and know more than I would ever know. Stella is a mountain. Next to her I am a rock, and Bob is a grain of sand. Every night when the stores close and the moon washes the world with milky light, Stella and I talk. We don't have much in common, but we have enough. We are huge and alone, and we both love young yogurt raisins. Sometimes Stella tells a story of her childhood of leafy canopies hidden by mist and the buzzes busy songs that flow in water. Unlike me, she recalls every detail of her past. Stella loves the moon when it's untroubled smile. I love the feel of the sun of my belly. She says, "It is quite a belly, my friend," and I say, "Thank you, and so is yours." We talk, but not too much. Elephants like gorilla do not waste words. Stella used to perform in a large and famous circus, and she stood a dozen of those tricks for a show. During one stunt, Stella stands on her hind legs while Snickers jumps on her head. It's hard to stand on your hind legs when you weigh more than 40 men. If you are a circus elephant and you stand on your hind legs while a dog jumps on your head, you get a treat. If you don't, not the clock stick comes swinging. Elephant hide and stick as bark on an ancient tree with a top stick can pierce it like a leaf. Once, Stella was a trainer hit a bull elephant with a caustic. A bull is like a silverback novel containing calm like a cobra is calm. When the caustic caught in the bull's flesh, he tossed the trainer into the air with his tusk. The man flew. Stella sounded like an ugly bird she ever saw the bull again. Stella's trunk is a miracle. She can pick a single peanut with elegant precision, tickle a passing mouse, tap the shoulder of a dozen keepers. Her trunk is remarkable, but still it can unlatch the door of her tumble-down dummy. Circling, Stella's legs are long ago scarred from the chains she wore as a youth, her bracelets she calls them. When she worked at the famous circus, Stella had to balance on a pedestal for her most difficult trick. One day she fell off and injured her foot. When she went lame and lagged behind the other elephants, the circus told her to back. Stella's foot never healed completely. She limped when she walks, and sometimes her foot gets infected when she stands in one place for too long. Last winter, Stella's foot swelled to twice its normal size. She had a fever, and she lay on the damp cold floor of her dormitory for 5 days. They were very long days. Even now, I'm not sure she's completely better. She never complains, so it's hard to know. At the Bridgetown Mall, no one bothers with iron shackles. A bristly rope tied to a bolt in the floor is all that's required. They think I'm too old to cause trouble, Stella says. Old age, she says, is a powerful disguise plan. It's been 2 days since anyone's come to visit. Mike is in Alabama. He says we are losing money hand over fist. He says he is going to sell a whole lot of us. Then Selma, a blue and yellow macaw, demands, "Kiss me, big boy," for the third time in 10 minutes. My zeros are soda tanator. Selma wings her clipped so that she can fly, but she still can hop. She leaves aside just in the nick of time. "Pucker up," she says with a shrill whistle. Max starts to his office and slams the door shut. I wonder if my visitors have grown tired of me. Maybe if I learn a trick or two, it will help. She must seem to enjoy watching me eat. Luckily, I am always hungry. I'm a great eater. A silverback must eat 45 pounds of food a day if he wants to stay a silverback. 45 pounds of fruits and leaves and seeds and steams and bark and vines and rocks and wood. Also, I enjoy occasional insects. I'm going to try to eat more. Maybe then we will get more visitors. Tomorrow, I will eat 50 pounds of food, maybe even 55. That should make Matt happy. Bob. I explained my plan to Bob. Ivan, he says, trust me on this one. The problem is monsieur appetite. He holds on to my chest and licks my chin, checking for leftovers. Bob is a stray, which means he does not have a permanent address. He is so speedy, so wildly the mall workers long ago gave up trying to catch him. Bob can sneak into cracks and crevices like a trapped rat. He lives well at the end of hot dog he pulls from the trash. For dessert, he laps up spilled lemonade and splattered ice cream cups. I've tried to share my food with Bob, but he's a picky eater and says he prefers to hunt for himself. Bob is tiny, rude, and fast like a barking squirrel. He's nut color and green ear. His heels move like weeds in the wind, spiraling, dancing. Bob's hair makes me dizzy and confused. It has meanings with human words. I'm sad. It says. I'm happy. It says. Viewer, I'm maybe tired meat, but my teeth are sharp. Gorillas don't have any use for tails. Our feelings are uncomplicated. Our runs are unadorned. Bob used to have 3 brothers and 2 sisters. He has tossed them out of a truck onto the freeway when they were a few weeks old, or onto a beach. The others did not. His first night on the highway, Bob slept in the icy mud of the glitch. When he woke, he was so cold that his legs wouldn't bend for an hour. The next night, Bob slept under some dirty hay near the big Tom Mall garbage bins. The following night, Bob found the spot in the corner of my domain where the box is broken. I dreamed that I eat a furry donut, and when I woke in the dark, I discovered a tiny puppy snoring on top of my belly. It took me so long since I felt the comfort of another's warmth that I wasn't sure what to do. Not that I hadn't had visitors, Mac had been in my domain, of course, and many other keepers. I see my share of rats zip past, and the occasional wayward sparrow have fluttered in through a hole in my ceiling, but they never stay long. I didn't move all night for fear of walking Bob. And today we're going to retell here. Next time we'll read from here. Bye, guys.